What is up, YouTube? I'm your host, ProfessorStix, back at it again with another Call of Duty Warzone video. Today, we are going to be comparing the OTS-9 and the TEC-9. We'll be comparing these stats, and I'll be sharing with you guys the best attachments. We're going to find out if the TEC-9 is viable in Warzone. If this is your first time here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I make Warzone tips and tricks videos, and I compare the best weapons in Warzone. Let's get right into it. When we're looking at the weapon stats, the OTS-9 has an ADS speed of 192 milliseconds and a movement speed of 5.09 meters per second. The TEC-9 has an ADS speed of 196 milliseconds and a movement speed of 4.94 meters per second. The OTS-9 completes a reload in 2.4 seconds and has a rate of fire of 855 rounds per minute. The TEC-9 completes a reload in 2.3 seconds and has a rate of fire when fully automatic of 984 rounds per minute. Let's take a look at the damage profile. The OTS-9 does 47 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 6 shots to down a fully armored opponent, and the TEC-9 does 30 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 9 shots to down a fully armored opponent. The OTS-9 does 31 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 9 shots to down a fully armored opponent, and the TEC-9 does 24 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 11 shots to down a fully armored opponent. Now, keep in mind that the OTS, its effective damage range is from 0 to 7.7 meters, which is pretty short. The TEC-9 has an effective damage range from 0 to 14 meters. Now, let's take a look at the time to kill. The OTS-9, if you're hitting all of your headshots, is going to down a fully armored opponent in 351 milliseconds, compared to the TEC-9, which is going to down a fully armored opponent if you're hitting all of your headshots in 488 milliseconds. The OTS-9, if you're hitting all of your chest shots, is going to down a fully armored opponent in 491 milliseconds, compared to the TEC-9, if you're hitting all of your chest shots, which is going to down a fully armored opponent in 610 milliseconds. Now, with the OTS-9, you have to hit at least 3 headshots mixed in with the rest chest shots to be able to bring down your time to kill to 421 milliseconds, whereas with the TEC-9, you just need to hit 2 headshots to be able to bring down your time to kill to 549 milliseconds. So we can see here that the OTS-9 is very effective close range. However, when we look at it at range, that's where a different story is told. At range, the OTS-9 does 31 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 9 shots to down a fully armored opponent, and the TEC-9 does 27 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 10 shots to down a fully armored opponent. The OTS-9 does 23 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 11 shots to down a fully armored opponent, and the TEC-9 does 22 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 12 shots to down a fully armored opponent. Now, the second damage range for the OTS-9 is 7.7 meters to 16 meters, and for the TEC-9 it is 14 meters and beyond. And so keep in mind that the OTS-9 has a second damage fall off outside of 16 meters, and so that makes the TEC-9 better at range, but the OTS is destructive close. So if we look at the time to kill, if you're hitting all of your chest shots at the second damage fall off for the OTS-9, you're going to down a fully armored opponent in 702 milliseconds, and with the TEC-9, if you're hitting all of your chest shots, you're going to down a fully armored opponent in 671 milliseconds. Really, when you look at it, the TEC-9 is going to be better and more consistent in that 0 to 14 meters compared to the OTS-9, which after that 7.7 meters, which obviously can be extended with attachments, it is going to fall off. So you might have some inconsistencies there. So let's look at the attachments. All right, so very quickly, for the TEC-9, you're going to want to go with the fully auto repeater. This is important. This muzzle is what allows you to have a fully automatic TEC-9. Now, keep in mind that it only gives you position concealment. It is not a full suppressor, which means that you are probably going to appear on the map momentarily, but not for as long as if you had an unsuppressed weapon. You're going to want to go with the task force barrel, the field agent grip, the 48 round mag, and the Raider stock. For the OTS, you're going to want to go with the GRU suppressor, the task force barrel, the Spetsnaz grip, the 40 round fast mag, and the KGB skeletal stock. All right, so here are my final thoughts. As I was saying earlier, the OTS-9 is going to be very destructive up close. However, the TEC-9 is going to be more consistent in that close to medium range. You know, it's not every time we're going to be able to tell if we're shooting somebody exactly at 10 meters or 12 meters. If you know that you're going to be very aggressive, you want to definitely run with the OTS-9 because it's going to be a slapper up close, especially with the new meta being the Gallo shotgun. If you're not a Gallo type of person, you're not a shotgun type of user, then you definitely want to rock the OTS-9 because it's going to have the best range up close. All right, guys, that's it for me. As always, make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you can find your way back for more Call of Duty content. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.